Go. Drives on Sabonis again, goes inside, double clutch, shot won't go, rebound Sabonis. That's his 14th board of the game.
You love the effort, though. Vasco challenged him. He got in there. There was contact.
Turner for three. And goes over the backboard. Indiana 6 of 25 from Brogdon fakes. Back out Sabonis. Sabonis for three.
Great move.
They wanted a goaltend. It appeared he got it before.
He definitely got it before.
Yep. So, but Curry will shoot the 2 free throws. He doesn't like it. Good no call on the goaltend. Golden State is 22 of 25 from the line. Curry is 5 for 6.
You cannot go up and hit. If it down, then that's goaltending or basket interference. But that was clean.
Well, it's clean because you can. To your point, you can take it to the glass. You can't take it when it comes off the glass.
Right. 2 free throws though for Curry to give them a 5-point lead. Pacers just had a couple of possessions to take the lead. Now down 5. But recently, they've been in this position before. Home game against Chicago, road games Atlanta and Minnesota. Brogdon for 3. Long rebound. Sabonis tracks it down.
How about that? Brogdon was trying to gather it, couldn't control it, and had to throw it back in after that offensive rebound.
And Oubre gives him a 7-point lead.
Yeah, that's timeout.
Indiana had cut it to 1. 6 straight now by Golden State.
To play, Golden State leads Indiana 105-98. Earlier today, the NBA released the second half schedule as expected. Road heavy in the month of March. The season resumes March 12th for the Pacers to start with a 3-game road trip. Indiana at Staples Center to take on the Lakers March 12th. 6 of the last 8 at home, but it will be, as I mentioned, a very challenging road-heavy month of March into early April. Guys, Nate Bjorkgren had a couple comments before the game, but nothing really big to share because he's all focused on this game as we are right now.
Connecticut timeout, 105-98 Golden State. But what's odd, Quinn, is the Pacers have a better record on the road than they do here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. 8-5 on the road, 7-9 here at home. They've won 3 straight away from Indianapolis. They're trying to snap a 3-game home court losing streak tonight.
Yeah, and also, Chris, the statistics of what they are, it also depends on who you played in that time. And so as much as is a bit of a problem the way it looks now, it can come back to you as well. They switch everything, and they're playing small.
Sabonis out of a double team.
They called it for traveling. They came and double teamed him, and he had nowhere to go, and they called him for traveling.
Pacers' 18th turnover. Golden State has scored 21 points off those. You can see that advantage, an 11-point advantage in points off turnovers for the Warriors.
This is a very important, I think, Chris, defensive possession. And if you get it, then you've got to get a basket. Great. Oh, no. Thank you. Because now you got to score. That defensive possession is there.
Extra pass. McDermott is waiting for three.
There you go. So you've got your defensive possession. Gives you, gets you there.
Pacers cut it to 4. McDermott has 15. Curry leaves it off for Pascal, who pounds it home. They had Turner out on the perimeter, so nobody there to protect it.
Well, that's why they run it. That's why they got that little lineup in.
And Brogdon earns a trip to the free throw line, but more importantly, it stops the clock with 1:06 to play.
I mean, good job attacking the basket by Brogdon.
2 of 2 tonight. The Pacers 24 of 30. This is the 4th consecutive game. They've shot 27 or more free throws. It's happened only 7 times all year, but 4 times here in the last number of games. Our post-game show is coming up. Andy Moore Automotive. We'll hear from Nate Bjorkgren. Player interviews. Pat Boylan will join our team. Eddie Gill, Jeremiah Johnson waiting in the Fox Loft. But we still have a ways to go. A 4-point Golden State lead, final minute of the 4th quarter.
Talk about a ways to go, Martin.
We hope it's a ways to go. Pacers the steal.
Sabonis is trying to get McDermott a look.
McDermott for 3.
Rebound.
Green got it.
And he'll get it in hands of Steph Curry, where you have to foul him.
That would have made it a 1-point game. And now the ball's kicked.
Well, the shot clock was below 8, so they get 6 additional seconds. You get 14 on a reset.
All this has happened on a night that Steph Curry is just 1 of 11 from 3, but he's had tons of help. Pascal 13 off the bench, Oubre 17, Wiggins 15, Draymond Green a near triple-double with 10 points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists.
Defensively come with McConnell. Guard Curry.
One of the best free throw shooters of all time. Got it to Green, and they foul him.
That's the right foul. Curry is the last person you want to foul.
Well, that last possession, when you force Curry into a turnover, McDermott had just hit a 3. You make that 3, it's a 1-point game.
Oh, no doubt.
But it's...
And right now, the Pacers had that one to give. So they don't get foul shots. Golden State doesn't get foul shots.
That's an offensive foul. It's on Curry. He popped McConnell in the nose.
I think they're going to challenge this. They're going to challenge this. He gets the ball, and McConnell was running. They're going to challenge it. McConnell's running. By Golden State. Ooh.
And so
I like the Pacers' chances on this one.
I do too. Steve Kerr with the coach's challenge. 19 and 9/10 to play. 107-103 Warriors. Call on the floor is Pacers ball. We'll check in next.
It's still the Pacers have to score, and Chris, they're going to have to foul, so you got to score quickly.
14 seconds. Brogdon's going to go up, under, get it with 11 and 6/10. They get it to Curry.
Right, and you got to. That's what I was saying. That's why you want to score quickly, because they're going to give it to Curry, and he's one of the best shooters. But that's the way you've got to attack that 19 seconds.
Brogdon and Sabonis each have 22. And now you put Curry on the line. 7 of 8 tonight, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. Just a 7 of 21 shooting night and 1 of 11 from 3. You need him to miss one. And this is the big one because it's a 3-point lead.
Big one because it makes it a 2-possession game.
10 and 1/10. Pacers have 1 timeout remaining. Golden State leads by 4. Curry has 24, and the Warriors lead it by 4. Ten and 1/10 to play. Connecticut, a fourth quarter timeout, the official water of the Indiana Pacers. This game was tied at 91 with 7.5 minutes to play. Brad Wanamaker scored, and the Warriors have not trailed since leading 93-91. Golden State trying to end this 4-game Eastern Conference road trip with a 2-2 record. They won last night at Madison Square Garden. That's where the Pacers will be on Saturday night. On Friday night, they are going to play a Boston team that has now dropped 2 games under 500 as they were beat tonight in Atlanta.
Hammered. They were hammered, partner.
They were.
I'm not sure I like that.
No, I never liked that. In fact, I like Golden State winning last night, but they're trying to back it up with a win tonight here in Indianapolis.
They switched it. They were trying. Oh. Good. They got to Green, so he couldn't get it over to Curry. But in all of the melee, if you will, on screening action early, Sabonis and Curry kind of got caught in each other.
There's Oubre and Sabonis.
Well, Oubre kind of loses his balance, goes down, and that's why Sabonis has his hands up.
And so Indiana turns it over, and that about does it with 7 seconds to play. Ten points, 9 rebounds, 11 assists tonight for Draymond Green.
The few people in the game, some people score a lot of points that don't impact the game. If he scores and does if he does what he does, Green, he impacts winning. Not a great shooter, not a great anything. He just impacts winning.
And Indiana on the verge of a 4th straight home loss. As Brogdon gets to the basket, a second to go. And Oubre dribbles the clock out, and for the second consecutive time, the Golden State Warriors have beaten the Indiana Pacers here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. These two teams did not play here a year ago.
which was an NBA record. Mike Trudell, I know you want to talk about Utah, but first let's talk about the Lakers. Why the change? What's behind this?
Yeah, so this was one of those situations where Frank Vogel kept his cards close to his vest until he had to release the lineups, and we see THT enter. You think one thing they get there without Schroeder, some additional playmaking with that starting unit, maybe lessens the burden some on LeBron as THT is so good at getting into the paint. And then Markieff Morris comes in. That allows Kyle Kuzma to go to the bench and perhaps carry more of the offensive load with the second unit, something that Anthony Davis can do when they stagger minutes that way, and you get a little bit more balance. And then, Billy, as for Utah, what a start for the Jazz. A couple of things that have been benefiting them, and Frank Vogel discussed this earlier. Part of that thing is just thinking about the cohesion that they have from the lineup. All 8 of their top minutes players from last season return, and then they add Derek Favors. Derek Favors, of course, was there for 9 years before he went to New Orleans last season. So they have the best cohesion, and that's something that Vogel said really helps early in the year. Now, it's not something that guarantees playoff success, but it definitely can help in that situation. Meanwhile, you have the Lakers. They've gotten to a point of fatigue here lately. We know that LeBron has spoken about how that's not something that he thinks about. But Kentavious Caldwell-Pope did acknowledge that got to him in his leg. So a lot of stuff going on both sides. It should be a fun one as the Lakers try to find a way to win without AD, who last year was Utah Jazz kryptonite.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is a tough matchup for Rudy Gobert. But Rudy's not going to have to deal with them tonight. There's LeBron. 8 turnovers the other night, too, and was 2 for 10 from beyond the arc. And he wants to kind of change that narrative, obviously. He did have his 7th 30-point game, though. Lakers lost it in overtime, their 4th overtime game this year to the Wizards, 127-124. Utah beat Charlotte handily, 132-110 in their last game. And here we go. First possession belongs, and there is Spider, Donovan Mitchell, trying to get it to Gobert, and off the leg and out of bounds. It'll be Utah basketball, 10 to shoot.
And we talked about the lineup changes, especially with THT and his ability to get into the paint. But he's got to get into the paint under extreme control in this game because of Rudy Gobert.
There is O'Neal, not the best shooter on this team. He's in there mostly for defensive purposes. One of the most underrated players, and unfortunately not going back to the All-Star game again. Mike Conley straight away hits the 3.
Right on cue. You talked about how underrated he is and has never been an All-Star in his career, and not going to be there this year, but keeps making plays. Makes a 3, then a steal for an easy deuce.
So he's got all 5 Utah points. Yeah, never made the All-Star game. And by the way, if you did not hear, AD obviously can't play. He was named as a reserve. But Devin Booker, who absolutely deserves to be there, and he will be filling in. And again, there will be a draft with the 2 captains. Gasol misses. Rebound taken to Utah and Bogdanovich, who you think is going to play a big role tonight.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is a guy that not only can shoot the 3 like all the other Jazz, but he's not bad at putting it on the deck a little bit and drawing fouls.
Conley gets doubled up. Obviously, the Lakers running out to the 3-point line, trying to run him off, but alone in the corner. He misses, and THT has the rebound for the Lakers. Had a 7-point game the other night in the loss to the Wizards, a game where the Lakers led by 17 in the second half. Inexcusable. Although give the Wizards credit, that was their 5th consecutive win. Markieff in the starting lineup, hits the mid-range from the elbow.
Yeah, Markieff was a guy that I said it in the last couple of games. Really the guy that I think if they get him involved in the offense more, can really aid them in that department.
Bouncing under to Rudy Gobert. There is the French rejection. You mentioned what a great start he's having. He had 6 blocks on this end of the floor in their last game.
Yeah, this is the end of the floor where he does his damage.
But THT, very aggressive, owns the baseline.
Nice change of direction by THT, and he kind of put the defense to sleep with that move.
Again, fans in the arena in Utah. They've been there mostly throughout the season. Good defensive play by Mark. Lead pass for KCP. The bounce to LeBron for the dunk.
Well, give Marc Gasol all the credit. They tried to lob to Rudy Gobert, but Mark did a great job getting his hands up, deflecting it, and coming away with the steal.
You've got a really good home team in Utah, 14-2, and still the best road team. The Lakers 13-3. Nobody has more road wins than the Lakers. They have been just absolutely phenomenal away from Staples Center. And that goes back to last year. Gobert, the little jump hook, and the rebound taken by Gasol.
Boy, Rudy Gobert with almost a gimme there.
KCP on its way, going to come up short. He's had a couple of good games in a row, though, Stu.
Yeah, and I hope he can continue to keep that confidence rolling.
Connolly doesn't hesitate. Let me tell you, they reached 500 made threes in a season faster than any team in NBA history. Yeah, faster than Golden State, faster than Houston, faster than anybody.
Shows you where the game has gone and where this Utah Jazz team is taking the three-point shot. Good play there, though, by THT. Nice control. So far to start the game, THT has been playing completely under control.
Utah on the attack. Spinning is Mitchell. Where's that number 45? Remember, that was Michael's baseball number. Mitchell was also a baseball player. And there is Bogdanovich. Bojan Bogdanovich.
Well, they've taken 9 shots overall, and 5 of them have been from behind the arc.
At the other end, LeBron takes a spill.
Dangerous.
Goes down hard.
That is dangerous. I'm glad to see he's able to at least get to a sitting position. Man, if he didn't get his feet under him to help brace that fall, that could have really been nasty. Inadvertent play there by O'Neal as he catches the pass. You see him get touched while in the air, and fortunately was able to get 1 foot on the floor before his back met Mr. Floor.
And of course, LeBron has dismissed the narrative about resting, wants to play every night, every game. It's my job. This is what they pay me for. He knows the fans want to see it, and he knows his team needs him.
Well, I respect him tremendously for that. I mean, the fact that he wants to go out and do what he's paid to do. But at the same time, he needs help so that he doesn't have to do what he does for so many minutes per night.
By the way, a quick get well to one of the most famous Laker fans, not only get well to AD, but one of the most famous Laker fans ever, Eldrick Tiger Woods, who is here at Harbor UCLA Medical Center rehabbing after the accident. And I know Tiger, just a gigantic purple and gold fan. We wish him all the best in his recovery. There is a Bogdanovich, not there, and rebound taken by KCP.
Yeah, very, very happy to hear that surgery went well, and he's going to be able to recover and do what he's done throughout so much of his career, and that's inspire others.
Rebound Gobert. Rudy is currently second, make it third in the NBA in rebounding, second in blocks. Oh, and Conley can't get the handle, and out of bounds, a turnover by Utah.
Conley was either moving with the basketball or getting ready to shoot it before he had control of it, and that's where the turnover occurred.
Mike Conley, of course, he and Marc Gasol played together for so many years, both legends, icons in the Memphis area when they played for the Grizz, and here they are on opposite sides. Speaking of Mark, he's in the lane. He backs up on Rudy Gobert, in and out. No, good offensive rebound and work. They collapse on Markieff, but he scores anyway.
Well, Markieff did a great job of not only getting the offensive rebound, but there were 2.5 players there that he had to get that shot over. He did a great job. That's the kind of ability that he possesses. He can score in the post, off the dribble, and the long ball. And he's got the timeout by the Jazz. The Lakers and the Jazz, so far, it's good. 13-all.
He had 7 threes the other night. In fact, he and George Niang each had 7 in that game.
That's just ridiculous.
Isn't it? For Ingles, that tied a career high. He's had 7 threes 3 separate times this year. His long Ironman streak finally came to an end. It was well over 300. Had an Achilles injury a little bit earlier. Here is Mark. He's going to miss, and Ingles has control of it. This Utah team, both in the top 4 offensively and defensively, the only team in the entire league that can boast that. Mitchell on its way. So right now they're shooting 5 for 12, and the Lakers are at 50%.
Well, they took out Rudy Gobert.
LeBron.
And coincidentally, LeBron goes right to the rim and gets a flush.
Yeah, the ultimate rim protector is out of the game. Derek Favors played 9 years here, took a year and went to New Orleans, and he's back for another tour of duty. Remember, he won a game with a slam dunk in this building against the Lakers a couple of years ago, right at the buzzer. With Derek Favors, LeBron gets doubled up. Marc Gasol goes to the dribble. Mark goes into the paint. Mark goes over Favors and scores.
See, Mark didn't try that against Gobert. Smart tried to take Gobert out near the three-point line. Now with a smaller defender, he puts his big body on Favors and scores easily.
Favors has come off the bench in all of the games this year that he's played. Bogdanovich rains it down from downtown.
Now that screen that time, Mark was a little late in going out and taking the 3 away and forcing Bogdanovich to go to help. Got a timeout on the floor. The Lakers sitting pretty with LeBron getting to the rack. When he gets there, he knows how to finish. It's the Lakers 5-1.
Mentioned first meeting of the year between these two. They'll meet twice more. A little mini-series mid-April at Staples Center. O'Neal, they have great ball movement. They like calling it getting it in the blender and just mixing it. They really like to turn your head defensively. Quinn Snyder, a demanding coach, but really a great in-game coach too. As O'Neal hits it from the outside. Look, everybody's going to shoot from the outside tonight.
Yeah, I mean,
you look at the entire league in three-point attempts, and they make the most. They make nearly 17 a game.
Another look at with our calls cam of them swinging the ball to the open man, and O'Neal knocks down his first from that distance.
Yeah, in fact, 45% of all of their points come from the three. And they lead the Lakers by 2. Mitchell, an all-star. We got a collision. We're going to get a foul on Ingles.
It's Wesley Matthews doing a pretty good job defensively, forcing Joe Ingles into the offensive foul.
Ingles, the old man of the Utah Jazz, 33 years of age. Yeah, look at Wesley. Matthews scoreless on Monday after 10 points Saturday against Miami. Of course, he started 3 in a row before coming off the bench tonight in Schroeder's absence. Montrez, what a game he had the other night, Stu.
Well, yeah, 26 points in 23 minutes. The guy just plays with such a ferocity that it's just really nice to see, and hopefully the rest of the team picks up on his lead.
It was his 5th 20-point game of the year. Favors nearly lost it, but then laid it in.
How did he get that one? I thought Caruso, who was in that mix, was going to come up with that loose ball.
It'll be interesting to see how Kyle Kuzma plays tonight, because the numbers say he plays better when he starts, not coming off the bench.
Yeah, but they need a little bit of what he can bring, though, offensively off the bench. But they need somebody that can create opportunities for him with this second unit.
Mitchell all the way, just off the rim. Jordan Clarkson, JC's in the game, the former Laker, 3.5 years, purple and gold, and he's the best bench scorer in the NBA. Mitchell lets it fly. Good defense by Caruso.
You talked about Jordan Clarkson. He's the leading candidate right now for Sixth Man of the Year.
Yeah, he's just playing lights out. Weaving his way through traffic is the Caruso.
I'd like to see Caruso do more of that. Normally when he gets into the paint like that, he's driving and kicking, not thinking of taking the little baby jumpers or the little easy shots.
Alex tied a season-high 11 points in the stunning loss to the Wizards on Monday night. Again, the Lakers have played 4 overtime games in the last 9. They won the first 3. Markieff spinning over Ingles, can hit the heel. Rebound to Derek Favors. Favors was drafted. He was the 3rd pick out of Georgia Tech, getting a hand on it as Kuz, and out of bounds it goes.
Well, especially when you're on the weak side, you have to be aware of the cross-court passes. You turn to look at the ball as we get a Jared Dudley sighting here as he's coming in to give the Lakers some extra rest and some extra support off the bench.
I was going to say, it's a bit of a surprise. We haven't seen Duds in a while. Of course, he was out for a while with an injury.
LeBron also re-enters the ball game.
LeBron 3rd in minutes in the entire league. 3rd. And over 200 minutes more than anybody else on his team so far this year. Ingles confronted that time by Montrez. We've got a minute and a half to play in the quarter. That's pretty good defense by Montrez. Nothing you can do about that. That was out of the rafters.
I mean, that was just ridiculous. He just dribbled out like he was going to face up on Montrez, and he just elevated his shot.
An 0 for 6 first quarter for Mitchell, who is out of the game right now. Thrown up by Alex. Thought he was going to get a whistle. Work by Montrez. Count it, and 1.
Well, good penetration by Caruso. How he got the shot under the arms of the French rejection. Gobert was amazing. But then there's Montrez. You know, anytime it's loose and he's around the ball, offensive rebounds are going to probably be in his favor with his man leaving, and he gets a 3-point opportunity. Real nice job with that dribble penetration by Caruso and the offensive rebound by Montrez.
Montrez, who's a 75% free throw shooter on the year, as you see. And while he's at the line, and while we have a moment, Here's a quick word from Morongo.
Morongo, keeping you safe.
They can't capitalize. So Gobert gobbles it up. That's his second board of the night. Joe Ingles from Australia being guarded by LeBron James. 1 point deficit facing the Lakers. Gobert gets it knocked away. Here comes LeBron. Bit of a break. It's 4-on-3. Kick it into the corner. Not a great pass. It's going to go out of bounds. A little bit out of the reach of Alex.
Yeah, Alex had spotted up in the pass with another step in front, and when he tried to retrieve it, the ball went out of bounds or touched the baseline.
Lakers had 20 turnovers the other night. Yeah, granted it went into overtime, but still not good ball security for the purple and gold, but they forced 5 in the first quarter. Clarkson lets it go. You remember Clarkson, when he was with the Lakers, he liked to put the ball on the deck quite a bit, Stu.
Yeah, that was the thing. When he had it, he dribbled it for quite a long time.
Gobert, another rebound.
Now with the freedom to shoot as many threes as they like, Jordan doesn't have to dribble to get into the paint as much. He just frees up for jumpers.
A whole different deal for him now. Shot clock is off. You see the game clock at 7. Clarkson right now going into his dribbling act with his former teammate Kuzma. Right there, Gobert not going to get it, and it's a 1-point lead for Utah.
That was good defense in the last 6 seconds there by Kuzma on Jordan Clarkson. Forced Gobert into the air ball. We'll head to the second with the Lakers trailing the Jazz by only 1.
Basketball is being brought to you by Carl's Jr. Feed your happy at Carl's Jr. with the Big Carl or the really Big Carl. And by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa, the newest, friendliest, and safest casino resort. Morongo, playing it safe. Good times. And a sparkling look at the Salt Lake City downtown area, and 30 degrees tonight. Going to get down to about 18. Look at the Lakers. They got to make some threes.
How are they only down 1 point? Jazz are shooting 50% from that distance, and the Lakers are at 14%.
A handful of turnovers by Utah, and Mitchell went 0 for 6. You were commenting to me a quick first quarter, and the reason why?
No free throws.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's not a coincidence either. Makes a lot of sense. As Montrez can't score, these two teams give up the fewest free throws to the opposition. They're number 1 and 2 category.
Number 1 and 2 in defense too, aren't they?
Yes, they are. So, look, they're playing great defense without fouling. How about that? Niang throws up a prayer as the Lakers had him boxed in the key. Open corner, THT knocking in it. So once again, now the Lakers are 1 for 8. The floater by Clarkson.
That was not an easy shot. Good shot by Jordan Clarkson.
He had 5 threes the other night. They scored 40 in the fourth quarter to win running away. And speaking of no free throws, they didn't shoot not one in the fourth quarter. And they scored 40 points in the win over Charlotte. In that final stanza. LeBron fall back baseline. That's become one of his set shots.
I'm telling you, that shot, he makes that shot look so easy. That is not an easy shot to convert.
He'll be the captain for one of the teams on draft night, March the 4th, for the All-Star game in Atlanta. The game is March the 7th. Gobert high post. Handoff now to Conley. O'Neal's hit one from right there. Clarkson's going to try another one to beat the buzzer. Clarkson's got a 3 downtown.
Checks in, 5 minutes on the floor, and he's already got 5 points.
His season high is 40, Stu. His career high is 42.
Yeah, well, when he got 42, was he coming in off the bench?
He's only started, in the last couple of years, just 2 games. He's always coming off the bench. O'Neal.
Well, O'Neal got a steal and a 3-point basket.
He's having a career year. And the biggest lead of the game, 32-25. And look at that discrepancy. 8-1 in made threes. THT underneath, travel.
That's the Rudy Gobert effect. You get into the paint, pick up your dribble, and figure out what to do with it. If you're going to get in there, you have to keep your dribble alive or else try to finish right away.
That's what a 7'1 frame, a 7'9 wingspan, and a 9'7 standing reach will do for you. 2-time Defensive Player of the Year, and they are just on fire from outside. And all of a sudden, just like that, the lead's at 10.
Yeah, the Lakers are down 1 at the break, first quarter break, and now they're down double figures as the Jazz just lighten it up from behind the arc. 9 out of 15, they lead by 10.
Matthews wanders into the paint, now comes out. He'll launch one. He's got the second Laker three tonight.
For that time with the movement, he ended up being defended by Rudy Gobert, who did not want to come out there, so he had a nice open look.
Conley, the southpaw from the Ohio State. Clarkson picked up there by Harold. Tippy-toeing on the base. Here's Niang. He misses from the outside. George Niang went to Iowa State, where he was known as the closer. Here's a guy who is a great clutch player throughout his career. LeBron James. One-on-one with Rudy Gobert. Take him to the basket. That's LeBron.
Rudy failed to immediately
So it was pretty, but LeBron couldn't finish. Otherwise, it would have been a highlight. And it doesn't finish. Clarkson hits it.
10th made from that distance.
Yeah, the bench was up and ready on that move by LeBron. Matthews now rebound tap by Gobert. Taken by O'Neal. Went to Denver University and Baylor. He's in his fourth year. Went overseas, played there for a few years, Germany and Spain. There's Conley. They are on. This is what is the record? 29.
The record, the NBA record is 29 in the game. They've already converted 11. And 7 and a half to play.
They're not gonna stop LeBron with the hammer right down the lane.
LeBron said, I see you here, but I still got this.
Good dish. 41-30. LeBron has 10. He has 10 to the Laker 30. It's going to be out of bounds. It will be Laker basketball.
Good hands by Jared Dudley. We get another look at LeBron with our Carl's Gambling dish. THT at the finish. You see Rudy trying to cover up and says, ooh, I don't want none of that.
Yeah, I'm getting out of the way. You broke my ankle a minute ago. I don't want to be posterized. Hit my face right there. LeBron James, emphatic throwdown.
So LeBron 10 first Laker in double figures in 10 as he heads to the sideline.
Conley leading Utah right now with 14. Their balance is evident. They really spread it around. Alex will bring it up to the attacking 47 feet. First meeting of the year between these two teams. Lakers swept them last year for the first time in 34 years. There's Caruso, the hook shot. It's going to go right back to him. Pretty good ball movement. KCP out of bounds and hit. Contagious. Out of bounds to Utah.
That looked like all ball.
Well, Lakers will take it. Let's take a look and see if it the body or did he hit the wrist
I
or
didn't see any body.
or was it on Favors? Maybe it was Favors.
I hope it was Favors.
That's
Surely
what it is.
could
It's
have
on
been Donovan
Favors.
Mitchell.
You can only see so much once again on my gorgeous 15-inch monitor right here.
Second that
We'll
was
watch the game. 64% from the field, one of the tops in the league. So the foul is on Favors, which makes a lot of sense. It was a good play by Mitchell. 41-32 is Montrez as the Lakers now back to single digits. Again, Mitchell has not scored 0 for 6. Bogdanovich double teamed by the Lakers. Clarkson into the lane, stops on a dot and scores. Put on the brakes.
He's playing so well this year for the Jazz. A lot of it's because he's fit in well with their system that they run, and also he's just learning how to conserve energy, not always be playing OC.
Yeah, since he was traded, you asked about starting. Since traded, remember he was in Cleveland, he's only started 2 games. Caruso, the turn, the miss, and the rebound by Mitchell. Utah.
This has all been done with Mitchell not scoring
At all. And Favors throws it down right at the rim. Points in the paint. 16 right now for the Lakers, 12 for Utah. The Lakers on a nightly basis hold a +8 advantage in that statistical category. Montrez. Here he goes to the dribble, leans in, can't score. And Favors gets the rebound. They'll quickly bring it into the other end. Again, they have made 11 threes, looking for an even dirty dozen.
They are just flat shooting the lights out from behind the arc. They had 28 made in their last game. Well, there's still a lifetime left in the first half, and they're sitting on 12. 12 out of 20. They lead by 16. Gobert and their Lakers dominating on that glass that time as they had 3 or 4 offensive attempts.
Again, congrats to AD being named an all-star reserve. Won't play in the game. Out for at least another 3 weeks. This is his 5th straight he has missed. That's on the floor, on the ground. Foul on KCP. No shot. Got 4:51 remaining here in the quarter.
KCP trying to lobby the official into saying that they were holding his arm. And again, officials, I don't remember the last time they said to a player, you know what, I think you're right. Let's change that call.
Mitchell still scoreless. Ingles down the middle, little bounce pass, and a foul. Going to the basket was Derek Favors.
This is going to be one of those game of 2 halves for Donovan Mitchell. In the first half, I don't think now with the lead being the way it is, 14 with 2 free throws coming, and he's yet to scratch, I don't think he's really looking to score much. But watch when they come out in the third quarter. He's going to be looking to put it in the basket.
Yeah, he has 9 straight games, Stu, with at least 23 points. So he's kind of fallen behind a little bit on that chase for it again tonight. We've told this before, but Donovan was actually at the Boys and Girls Club when LeBron made his famous decision to go to Miami. He was 14 years old, and he was there in attendance.
Kind of inspired Donovan to do some great things as well, huh? 1 out of 2 by Derek Favors. Lakers trail by 15.
Kuzma has yet to score for the Lakers, and he's been on a really good run in all facets of the game over the last 3-4 weeks. Caruso with the dribble, and Markieff is held by Clarkson. Pushed, held, bumped, whatever. Clarkson picks up a personal foul.
Good screen by Markieff. And Jordan Clarkson caught holding on.
Jordan, double-figure scoring in all but 1 game this year. Just such an integral part of what they're trying to do here. Taken away, that's another Laker turnover. Clarkson in the attacking zone, goes around KCP, other side, inside out, wide open underneath. That's just good ball movement. That's just fabulous ball movement.
Started with the defense. They get the steal, they go down and get an easy hoop.
Lakers are down 51-34. Biggest lead of the game. 4 minutes, clock running. The short-handed Lakers hope to get Schroeder back on Friday when they play Portland. And Mike talked about the cohesiveness of this Utah team. Oh, spin and score by Kuzma. Pretty stuff. That's
really
tough.
nice. He had two defenders wondering which way is he going.
That is tough. And at the other end, Mitchell will get a chance to get on the board as he's fouled going to the basket.
Talk about that possession with the Lakers, or the Jazz, I should say. We're moving the ball very, very quickly and get the easy deuce. And then Kuz with the great spin and finish. Derek Favors says, who is that guy?
He had his 7th double-double the other night. Also had a couple of blocks. And get your game day essentials straight to your inbox with our pregame email. Before every game, you'll get key info like where to watch, projected starters, matchup storylines, and more. Sign up on Lakers.com/emails.
Well, both LeBron and then Rudy Gobert re-enter the game with 3:43 to play in the first half. Donovan Mitchell missed the first of two, looking to scratch for the first time. Does have 4 rebounds and 3 dimes.
The 24-year-old signed a 5-year extension in November, and he's finally on the board. He averages 24.5 points per game. That puts him in the top 20 in the NBA. Let's see if the Lakers can finish strong here in this second quarter. Get back into this game.
Yeah, cut off about 4 or 5 points of this lead.
And that's a good bounce, and KCP finishes. Nice feed by Gasol.
Real nice bounce pass. Had Rudy Gobert at the top of the circle, and he couldn't recover to get to block the shot.
So a good way to start if they're going to get into this lead. Bogdanovich, short rebound. Kuzma, you know what a great rebounder he has become. Of course, he went to college for 3 years, where he graduated early. Spinning Donovan Mitchell. Good defense by Gasol. Rebound right back into the hands of Mitchell. They got a fresh 14. Wide open. Bogdanovich makes no mistake.
Well, he's been a three-point shooter ever since he got into this league, so it's nothing new for him to be knocking down threes here with the Jazz.
You might recall he did not play in the bubble or the playoffs due to a wrist injury that he incurred last May. And the Lakers come right back with the big fella.
Yeah, Marc Gasol strikes from three-point land. Now the Lakers are now 3 out of 11 from that distance versus 13 out of 22 for the Jazz.
How about this? The last 3 games coming in, Mark, all but one shot have been from beyond the arc. Gobert! That's going the other way. Wipe it out.
Yeah. Had the ball deep and inadvertently turned and used his arm to get rid of Markieff. Look, watch this. Oh, he didn't see the foul there as he used that arm to free himself. Donovan Mitchell with the look of surprise.
Well, Gobert only 2 points, but he does have 6 rebounds to lead everybody in the game. Orchestrating, surveying LeBron right back to Mark. Is he at it again? Got it! So in rhythm, Gasol hits. That's his second 3 tonight and his second in as many possessions.
And that's the way to free up and get Rudy Gobert out of position to block shots. Put him in pick and rolls.
All right, so down 55-44 now. Mitchell for 3. Mitchell hits. That's their 14th tonight.
One pace to break the record.
Yeah, remember they had 28, so they're halfway there. That's their franchise record, and they had it in their last game. They were down by 11 in the third quarter, and just one going away. Here's Gasol right back out. Quick ball movement. Kuzma, yes, sir! So Kuz has got a triple.
Kuz didn't hesitate on that one. Boy, knocks down his first from behind the arc.
Minute 20 remaining. He's sending it to the studio with Geeter and company momentarily. Here's Rudy Gobert well above the rim for that easy alley-oop.
Yeah, pick and roll, and he was being defended by KCP, giving up quite a bit of height, and he just threw it up near the rim where Rudy finished easily.
This Utah offense, third most points per game in the league, going up against still the number 1 rated defense. You mentioned it, Stu. The Lakers, 60-47, but they're missing a couple of really big parts, obviously, in AD and Dennis Schroeder.
Oh, enormous parts.
Enormous.
Well, everybody knows what AD brings to the table, but I don't know if they appreciate what Schroeder has been bringing, both as a guy that runs pick and roll offensively and also a guy that just really gets after you full court defensively.
Well, there's a foul on a former defensive player of the year in the NBA, Marc Gasol. Gobert's won that award twice.
Said it was an illegal screen, and I don't know what the illegal screen was.
A little hip check, perhaps.
Maybe the right leg moved a bit, maybe.
Yeah. Now it's Utah basketball in the attacking 47. Gobert on top. Where's number 27? That's where he was drafted. That's why he picked that number. And the garbage goes right to him, and he scores, and the foul.
Yeah, foul on Kuz as who's trying to recover back to get that loose ball where would bounce right to Rudy Gobert and almost flushes it easily, but gets the hoop and the foul.
A very fortunate bounce, but that's what's been happening with this Utah team. Best record in the league, 3 games up in the Western Conference. You know, they just had a 9-game winning streak snap. They had an 11-game winning streak earlier this year. And everybody asking, are they legit title contenders? Certainly they have aspirations to be just that.
See, he's the 3rd worst free throw percentage in the league this year at 59. Wow.
That looked pretty good, didn't it?
Looked like a decent stroke.
63-47. A lot of work to do. And the problem is Utah's one of the best second-half defensive teams this year in the league. One of the best at making adjustments. KCP can't hit. Kuzma trying to track it down. The hustle play in the corner. It's going to belong to the Lakers.
Because of the effort by Kuz, it forced the Jazz to step on the baseline and then give the Lakers another shot to end the quarter.
Kuz tonight, 5 points, 12 minutes. Lakers looking for their 23rd win of the year. And there's number 23 getting control of it. Shot clock is off. Lakers down by 16. LeBron into the lane, into the corner. Kuzma back out to THT with 3, with 2, a long 2. And that's the way we end the first half.
First half, all in favor, after I shouldn't say first half. Second quarter, all in favor of the Jazz as they only led by 1 after the first. But the 3-point shot has vaulted them into a big lead at the half.
They've made 14 threes, shooting 61%. Time now to check in with the Access Sportsnet studio. It is the Jack in the Box halftime report.
Department second in the league, but it's the three-point shooting that's doing the Lakers in. Lakers only made 5. The Jazz have made 14.
Come on.
You hear me, Billy?
I heard
14.
you. I heard you.
Mike
I'm shaking
Trudell,
my head.
Can you shoot the three, or can you defend the three?
Well, Stu, we can defer my own thoughts and my own three-point shooting and go to the Lakers there. And think about this from the way that Utah shot the three. A couple of them were just really good defense. Jordan Clarkson shot right over the top. Same thing with a couple of other ones. Mike Conley, a couple of step backs. Some, though, than the ones that the coaches want back are of the variety on the offensive rebound or just not getting the rotation down. So we did see the Lakers have this happen to them a couple times in the postseason run last year. Game 1 against Portland, game 1 against Houston, and then they respond. Well, not that kind of time, right? Tonight, they got to find a way to do it right here, starting in the third.
Yeah, they're already down by 16, so they can ill afford to lose the first 5 minutes.
And Gasol misses the first shot of the half, and Bogdanovic has their 15th three. Remember, the NBA record is 29. They had 28 in their last game to set a franchise record. And a new starting lineup tonight for the Lakers in case you're joining us late. And this is the 5 that started. THT and Keefe were inserted. And there's Talon Horton-Tucker, the 20-year-old, the 46th pick in 2019, now in his second year. And making some noise, some serious noise. Going to be a problem as the years progress in this league. THT, here he is challenging Gobert.
See how Rudy made him alter that shot?
Yeah, that's the one stat that doesn't make it into the box score. 2 big ones, 2 big steps by Gobert, and he gets fouled.
KCP had no choice but to foul Gobert on that dive down the middle of the lane. So we talked about Gobert being third worst in the league from the free throw line percentage-wise, but he made his only attempt in the first half. He's looking for points number 8 and 9 with these two.
Rudy has more double-figure rebound games than scoring games. The French rejection.
I like that.
Not as much as the Stifle Tower.
I like it better.
Okay. And while we have a moment, here's a quick word from Jack in the Box.
The triple bonus Jack combo is back for $5.99.
Like and subscribe, people.
Jack?
Rudy also the leader by a wide margin in dunks this year. He's got an even 100 coming into the game. He got another one earlier on an alley-oop. Here is Mitchell. He could get another one here. That's 102 now in the dunk department for Gobert.
Well, Donovan Mitchell was playing free safety. LeBron tried to throw the full court pass, and that free safety was right there to pick it off. That leads to the flush by Rudy Gobert, and the largest lead of the night so far, enjoyed by the Jazz. They lead it by 22.
The fourth quarter.
69-47. Not good. Utah flexing their muscles. Taco Bell take. Well, most seasons leading your team in points, rebounds, and assists. LeBron 6 times. And you know what? He, Giannis, and the Joker are all doing it again this year, but let's give some love to, as you said, Stu, during the break, the originator of Hang Time, the great Elgin.
Elgin Baylor, boy. What a talent, what a talent. And as you mentioned, all three of the top 3 guys are looking to add one more to their list.
Add it again. By the way, Gallinari tonight around the league had 10 threes in the game. Atlanta beat Boston. 10 for the Rooster. Again, I mentioned this is the nightcap of 9 games in the league. So many have been postponed. Only 1 game was postponed for Utah in the first half back on January the 13th against Washington. They'll be making up. Lob again, and one more time. Too easy to Gobert.
Yeah, once he's involved in the pick and roll offensively and the center has to step out, it's if that other player who's guarding Gobert doesn't really get into him and make him change his direction, they're going to have that lob all night long.
THT straightaway 3, short. Tap by Markieff, out to Mark. Thought about it for an instant. Caldwell Pope going to drive to the basket all the way, and he's going to shoot 2. So being aggressive, KCP.
There's the screen. Mark steps out, and then KCP doesn't get back in time and just throw it up anywhere near the cylinder to Gobert.
And Caldwell Pope will go to the line. KCP's 21 on Monday were his most since he had that season high 23 at Milwaukee on the 21st of January. Hey, I know there are fans in the stands here, and we want to see you at Staples Center. So the sooner we can stop COVID-19, the sooner you can get back. Do your part. Stay home as much as you can. Wear a mask. This is coming from the Lakers, man. They want you to do your part. For more information, visit Lakers.com/mask.
KCP 1 out of 2, and that frees up Conley for his 5th. He finally misses. He was 4 for 4.
Yeah, perfect
from behind the arc.
Perfect from downtown. LeBron spinning, scoring, and 1 for the King.
Well, did he put pressure on the defense with that push up the court? O'Neal was there, but then LeBron knows he's going to try to take position. I'll just do my spin, get the whistle, get the layup, and 1.
That long streak in double digits in a game has continued again tonight. He's looking for point number 13, does not get it, and Mitchell slides in there to get the rebound. LeBron 12 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Lakers shooting just over 40%, nearly 58% for the Utah Jazz. And they're trying to Gobert again. Lakers were over there doubling up for a moment. Now it's one-on-one. Here's the spin and the block. So Gasol got back nicely.
Yeah, he got beat on the spin, but he recovered and got a piece of the shot, and without fouling also.
And these two teams fouled the fewest of anybody in the league. Here's that play again.
Yeah, well, good spin, but as he brings it up to try to flush it, Marc Gasol did a good job of reaching in and knocking it free, and then the Jazz get a technical foul, and LeBron's there to try to convert that and does.
So the Lakers missing 2 of their top players, without question, AD and Schroeder. Where do you think, Stu, the fatigue factor perhaps comes in? The run to a title, the short season, and here they are now. At all, in your estimation?
Well, the fatigue factor, I don't think it's the fatigue factor as much as it is the injury factor, because now they've got to do certain things with different personnel. As Gobert tells THT, this is why I lead the league in block shots a lot.
Mike Trudell, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where it depends who you ask at this point, as Conley misses this time. So LeBron, we know, does not acknowledge that, right? You have some of the guys that are new this year. THT, right? He's not tired. Marc Gasol, new to the team. But guys like KCP and some of the other players that played throughout the stretch, KCP said before the game that he is feeling it, and it's been in his legs. And you've kind of seen that in transition with KCP from 3, where he hasn't really been in rhythm before last game. So it affects guys differently, but there are a few guys that are definitely looking for that All-Star break coming soon.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody's looking for that All-Star break. Every player in the league is quite excited about getting some time off.
Yeah, the players who are playing in the league, they say they're honored to be selected, but they're not 100% into wanting to be there and actually play in the game itself. I'm sure it will be entertaining. Bogdanovich, Mitchell, corner. Mitchell cannot hit, and it falls right into the waiting arms and hands of Marc Gasol.
If you'd have told me with 7.5 minutes to go in the third, Donovan Mitchell would be 1 for 9 from the field, where would the Lakers be? I'd say they'd be pretty close to the lead.
And they are down
but they're not.
by 20. Mitchell, again, that string of 23 plus on the line, and he's not going to get that one to go. And you can see his exasperation. Just can't believe it's just not going his way. But again, everybody picking themselves up. This is a very deep Utah team, and we were interested to see them. For the last month or so, we've been kind of circling this game just to get the eye test on Utah, and they passed it so far.
Yeah, they're a good-looking basketball team, no question about it. I mean, the way they move the ball offensively, and then they've got that anchor on the defensive end where they can really crowd and run you off of a lot of threes, knowing that you're really reluctant to take it all the way to the rim with Gobert in there.
Caruso and Kuzma come in. You look at the past few years, past 3 or 4 years, Utah has always started slow, it seems, notoriously slow starters. And then they have this great run right in the middle of the season that they can't sustain. Difference this year is that run is just ridiculous right now, 21 out of 23. But this is not uncommon for this team under Quinn Snyder.
Well, 2 free throws by Donovan Mitchell. He runs his point total up to 6.
Lead is 18. Biggest lead of the game was 24. Make a 22-point lead, excuse me. 75-53. Get that abacus out. Here is KCP from the outside. Can be taken now by Conley. Again, will not be at the All-Star game. Although he's having such a solid year as a leader. Here's a lob under to Gobert. And you see why he's the leader in dunks in the NBA. He's got another one.
And the other thing is when you're trailing on that pick and roll where he rolls to the basket, the guy guarding that time, Mike Conley, you have to use your hands. You have to keep your hands up so that it makes that pass, that lob pass to Gobert, a little bit more difficult.
Now the dive that time by Caruso. He gets the bounce from LeBron, gets fouled, and he'll shoot a couple of free throws.
Get another look at that. Watch Rudy set the screen and then say, yeah, just throw it up there. I'm ready for it. And ready for it he is as he just flushes it easily.
And again, the Lakers' rim protection has not been good this year. When you look at the numbers as far as inside the restricted area.
Well, they're a completely different team regarding protecting the rim this year than they were last season.
The reshaping of the roster after the 17th title last year. Coming in, Favors again. He's having a career year shooting the basketball is Derek. 11th year in the league. The Caruso.
1 out of 2 for Caruso. The Lakers still trying to find a way. They're only shooting 39% from the field.
Alex now 11 for 14 on the year. Blocked by Kuz. He's got yet another block. He had a couple of them the other night in the game against the Wizards at Staples Center. Lakers will be back for 3 more after this one at Staples Center before the final road game prior to the All-Star break against Sacramento. LeBron back to the basket. Backing in, gets double teamed, pulls his way in, counted and one. LeBron James.
Yeah, being defended throughout the game, it seems, by O'Neal. But O'Neal just doesn't have enough in the back pocket to handle the strength of LeBron. He just backs him in, then overpowers him to get the foul and the hoop. Again, with no Rudy Gobert on the floor, they don't have the same rim protection.
LeBron 8th in the league in assists, 12th in scoring. Again, the 3rd ever to top 35,000 points. The only 2 in front of him the mailman, and Cap. Ingles gives it to Mitchell. Spider working on Caruso, shoots over him, and his nightmare shooting night continues. 1 for 11.
But if you're Donovan Mitchell, this is the night you want to have your nightmare shooting night, because the rest of your team is getting the job done and none of the weight falls on you.
Yeah, completely picking him up. Kuzma can't hit from 3, so the Lakers are 5 for 21. That is obviously under 25%. So that slump continues. They'll play keep away on top, Mitchell and Ingles. They'll get into their action here with their now on the shot clock. Oh, too easy to Favors right at the rim. Once again, little to no defense by the purple and gold. LeBron will launch a long 3 on shot, long rebound. Trying to tap it, get an extra 14 was Kuz, and it's going to go out of bounds.
One of those nights for the Lakers on both ends of the floor. They're having difficulties with their offense, and that's tied into why they're somewhat having difficulties on the defensive end.
You know, we see Utah, and you can't help but remember that night in 2016, April the 13th, Kobe's farewell game. We think about Kobe every night, especially tonight, an anniversary, of course, of the memorial, the celebration of his life and everyone else's. Here is Mitchell throwing it down.
Donovan said, my jumper's not working today, but I know I can still elevate. Gets into the paint, gets on that trampoline. No contest from the Lakers. And nice flush by Donovan Mitchell. And it's been all Jazz since second quarter.
Good shot. Oh!
See something? Say something.
Oh, you suck, Stephen. One more. Yes, sir. We're good. Come on. Hey, Mike. Hey. By yourself. Yes, sir. Okay, where you at? Good take. I'm here. By yourself. Let's try to get 3 stops right here. Hey, let's get 3 stops. Keep attacking. We're going to be all right. Getting good shots, finding the right matchups. Just go with it. Come on. Might as well. We're good. Come on.
All Utah tonight, even in the game summary. 3-pointers, they've hit 15 of them. 15 of them for the season. You can see how hot they have been. Also sharing the basketball, put it in the blender, mix it around, and who do you find? Favors underneath. And then on the fast break, they are well above their average. Lakers just not getting back. They're turning defense into offense, and it results in a big Utah lead. You know what's interesting? We've been talking about Donovan Mitchell's off night. He could still get a triple-double tonight, despite his shooting woes. He has 8 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those triple-doubles if he does get it. He's going to say, ugh, but I'll take it.
Yeah, an off night triple-double, if you will. Let's get to the 5 on the floor for the Lakers when we can. You've got Kuzma, Matthews, Trez, Caruso, and LeBron. 81-57. We're still in the third quarter.
It looked like the Lakers in a little bit of a zone here.
Could be experimenting. Get scored on right at the rim. If it was a zone, it was a miscommunicated one.
Whether you're in man or zone or whatever, you always have to be able to communicate verbally.
That's 32 paint points for the Jazz. Montrez, Matthews, quick. Now the 3 for LeBron, and he knocks it down. Got it from the outside. LBJ with the 3. He was only 2 for 10 the other night. On the year, a 36%er from beyond the arc. He's now guarding Bogdanovich. Favors corner the key. They'll reset it with Ingles.
Hard to play zone, though, against a team that shoots the ball as efficiently as they do from the perimeter.
Kuzma looking to attack, pulls up, mid-range, rebound to Mitchell. So there he's got another rebound as he inches closer to a possible triple-double. Here's a 3 on its way. Not going to go down. Tap once, twice, but controlled by Favors. Looks like it's going to be a foul on Caruso, and it is. Blocking as he tried to stop Mitchell from getting to the goal. Alex, of course, missed 2 games with a hand injury, so kind of shaking that off a little bit. It was a couple of weeks back. And waiting to have it ball out of bounds. Mitchell's already waiting for it. He's not even going to try to pretend that it was a shooting foul.
Well, they'd already told him that there was non-shooting.
I know that some guys
delay
they march to that line and try to make a point.
Try to influence you.
Lakers obviously in this zone. And they're definitely experimenting, aren't they? Here's it underneath.
He traveled.
Turnover.
Yeah, definitely traveled.
That's the 9th turnover for the Jazz. Lakers have turned it over 11 times, and Utah has capitalized with 19 points off of turnovers. Lakers will be home Friday against Portland. We'll have the game for you at 7 o'clock. Caruso, heartbreak in and out. Ingles with the rebound. We could see their bench early tonight, unless the Lakers can make a little run here at the end of the third and into the fourth. Clarkson back on the floor for Quinn Snyder. O'Neal tried to slide it into Favors. Lakers got a hand on it. Out of bounds it goes. 1.7. That's all we've got to shoot.
Well, Quinn Snyder wants to set up a play for this 1.7 as he calls a timeout. He's been in complete control since the start of the second quarter, leading by 23.
Beverly drive.
By the way, Donovan Mitchell has never had a triple-double. Believe that, Stu? Talented as he is.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes when you look at a triple-double, they're not as easy to get as one might think. Just because LeBron gets it almost every night, right? Some others are there, but that last shot that he made after that 1.7, that seems like that may have taken the lid off the basket for him as he followed that up with an easy deuce.
Well, you look at his averages. Obviously, rebounding is the lowest of that. He averages about 4 a game. A little over 5 assists per. But when you're scoring like this team scores, a lot of guys are going to get assists. Here's Ingles. Comes up short, rebound to Markeith. So they've cooled down a little bit from beyond the arc. That league record seems safe for now.
Hey, there's
I had
13
that I said
left.
For now. Did I say for now? I said it.
Don't say it. They've outscored the Lakers by 30 from behind the arc.
By the way, Joe Ingles broke John Stockton's Jazz record for made threes in a month the other night. He had 384 straight regular season games played that ended on January the 9th. And I mentioned that because at the time, Stu, that was the most in the NBA. They don't make them like AC anymore, do they?
No, it's all about load management and taking days off. And not like you didn't lose. You didn't take games off back when AC and the rest were playing.
Kuz looks to attack. He turns, gets doubled up. Caruso on its way. Not going to go down, and another good effort by Kuzma to keep it alive offensively. The cutter is Montrez, and he gets blocked by Gobert. Then Keith gets Gobert in the air and fouls him. It's a good little fake by Markeith.
Yes, that's what you have to do to Gobert. You must keep him guessing. You can't do everything in rhythm. Because if you're in your offensive rhythm all the time, he's in his defensive rhythm. You got to break it, make him break his rhythm as well.
Keith to the line. So the Lakers haven't been a whole lot of free throw shot either side tonight. Lakers are now 9 out of 13, and we're in the final minute of the third quarter.
Keith, though, looking for his 8th point. He is the Lakers' leader in rebounding in this game, despite only playing about 20 minutes. He's got 8 boards.
When he does play, he averages about 16 minutes a game. So he's getting more run tonight.
He's second in rebounding in the game. You know who is first? Donovan Mitchell with 9.
Thus, he has his sights on his first ever triple-double. Conley, the quarterback. Gobert with Kuzma guarding him. Right back to Conley. Into the lane he goes with the right hand, the offhand for Conley. Keeps it alive. So they've got 10 on the shot clock. It's just 5 ahead of the game. The shake and bake out on top by Clarkson, and the foul on Matthews.
Offensive rebound by Mike Conley got them that extra possession, and they're going to put 2 points on the board because of
Clarkson free throw time. He's only missed 2 free throws all year. How many do you think he shot, Stu, if I mentioned he's only missed 2?
Oh, wow. See, they've played, well, how many games have they played?
He had 49 attempts.
You didn't answer my question. I was going to guess. You already told me.
I already told you.
Gee.
Man, I just messed up my own game. 31 games, by the way. You want to guess again? By the way, he would be second in the league. Second in the league if he had enough free throw attempts to qualify. All right, I'll have you guess this.
It's nice to be able to, if you're going to get there, you might as well convert them.
Yeah, number 1 in the league, by the way, is CP3. Matthews, and that's the end of the quarter. And once again, unfortunately for the Lakers, big lead for Utah heading into
It's been a big lead for the Jazz for quite some time, as they are taking it to the Lakers all over the place, whether it's the lobs or dunks or especially three-point shooting.
As we mentioned, right at the top, chilly night, Salt Lake, going to get down about 18. Not expecting snow for another day or so here. By the time that arrives, the Lakers will be back in Southern California. The 3-game homestand coming up. Just 4 games remaining before the All-Star break. Donovan Mitchell will be there, and it looks like he might be done for the night.
Well, with the big lead that they have, I would think that he'd be finished for the evening, but you never know in the NBA. We talked about a frigid night in Utah outside. It's been a frigid night inside.
And oh man, you are right. And again, no AD, no Schroeder. Hopefully Schroeder on Friday will make a huge difference against Portland, who's been ravaged by injuries, but they've maintained.
They finally caught Gobert standing in the lane for about an hour.
How many times has he been setting up that little bivouac?
He's got a
little camp.
He's got a big tent in
Rudy Gobert tonight.
He peeked his head out of the tent that time, and they caught him.
16 points. 7 rebounds for him. THT. Not a Kuz. See the Lakers play with some big-time pride here in the fourth quarter. Make a little run at it. Underneath to Montrez. Good dish by THT.
See how much control THT was in that time? It wasn't going but maybe 20 miles an hour instead of the normal 60, 70 miles an hour, and he was able to make the same play, get the same results and assist to a teammate.
That's the first assist for Horton Tucker tonight. Kick it out now to Niang. That rolls around. So he was 7 for 7 the other night from beyond the arc.
You're kidding me.
7 for 7. You know, another player in the league did that this year. Sadiq Bey of Detroit, as Markieff hits it from in the lane. Bey went 7 for 7 from downtown. But that's still a heck of an effort, isn't it?
It sure is.
And he had come in a shooting slump. Gobert, they knock it away and steal it. THT, front court. THT gets wrapped up by Clarkson before he can get to the basket. It'll be ball out of bounds. 90-68. Fourth quarter action. So the Lake Show, if they can come back, this would only be their 4th loss on the road.
Good strip by Montrez as Rudy Gobert again was trying to get into the takeoff mode.
Lakers swept them last year. 1 in Los Angeles, 1 in Utah, and 1 in Orlando. They overall. But remember, Stu, they had that long losing streak in Utah. They finally ended it last year.
I remember.
Montrez, mid-range. Markieff just mistimed it a hair. Taken by Conley. Gets around the defender, THT. Lob again underneath. Mistimed it. Misconnection. And out of bounds it goes. It'll still remain Jazz basketball. After tonight, Utah will close out their first half with a 4-game road trip beginning Friday in Miami. Niang. You know, the thing that Coach Quinn Snyder said about him was he never hesitated. Pulled the trigger quickly.
Just like that?
That's why it reminded me of that.
He shot that one like it was only a 1/10 of a second left on the clock.
Really quick with the trigger finger from downtown. KCP, pull up, 16 feet straight away. Got to get a soft bounce. Does not, but we've got a whistle.
He fouled in the act of shooting, so KCP will get to the free throw line for his 3rd and 4th attempts. He's 1 out of 5 from the field. 0 for 4 from behind the arc.
Yeah, 0 for 4 from beyond the arc. That has been really sliding since, remember, he was in the top 2 in the NBA in three-point shooting.
Yeah, but that's why I always, hesitate to get involved in that because it's early in the year.
Yeah.
Let me know where you are at the end of the year.
It's still pretty respectable, 43% right now. We'll dig a little bit into the second half schedule as this game goes on here in the fourth quarter, and we have some time to talk about it.
Got a foul on Kenny as he was trying to fight over Jordan Clarkson's screen. He gets called for the foul.
KCP played in that McDonald's All-American game back in 2011. You know, he played in that game with Quinn Cook and Anthony Davis. And again, we wish Quinn all the best after being waived. So the Lakers have a couple of roster spots to figure out here and how it'll help them come playoff time. Rebound, THT, then he loses it.
Careless.
And a good play by Connolly, give him credit. Ingles, another southpaw, trying to find Gobert. He got sloppy with it there. And the Lakers steal it right back, 93-70. 3 minutes into the fourth and final quarter. Harrell. He might pull up from here. It's obviously part of his game now, the mid-range jump shot. And there he goes from the baseline, and he knocks it down.
Yeah, he had Gobert, who was giving him a little space. Gobert is so confident in his ability with his reach to affect shots.
Once again, the leader off the bench, Montrez with 14. One of 3 Lakers in double figures. LeBron leads with 19, and don't expect to see him unless the Lakers make a miracle run, but an easy follow offensive rebound and basket by Gobert.
Gobert now with 18 points, 8 rebounds, doesn't have an assist, so make him a facilitator.
Looking to get another double-double tonight. He's 3rd in double-doubles in the league, but he's not there quite yet. Montrez, boy, expanding that game.
And he stepped back because that time Gobert was really in front of him, so he did like a step-back jump shot.
I like that a lot. 4th in the NBA in field goal percentage, and it's not all in the restricted area like it used to be. Catch and shoot, and another triple for the former Laker Clarkson.
Clarkson now with 15 off the bench. 18 off the bench.
And he's made multiple threes 30 times this year, Stu. 30 games, multiple threes.
Everybody on their team must have done that. The way they're shooting it.
Kuz is going to try to answer back. Hits the front of the rim, then goes off the window. Gobert is now 1 away from a double-double. Clarkson tries it from the right side, right hand. Kuzma in the rebound department. Long lead and a great one for Markieff to finish.
Talk about an over-the-shoulder catch. Nice job by Markieff. Going up with both hands, securing it, and then just laying in. But the Jazz still lead by a lot. from behind the arc. 18 out of 39. This is following 28 in their last game. So in 2 games, and there's still a lot of game left here. They've got 46 three-pointers made.
And Mitchell's coming back in to the game despite the huge lead. So you're correct. And as you were saying, those guys get their stat sheets. They know what's going on on the bench.
You know, I mean, they got 8 coaches over there, all of them with stat sheets.
At least 8.
In people's ears. You know, they say Donovan's only a rebound and 2 assists away from a triple. Mike Conley is only 2 rebounds and 2 assists from a triple.
Ingles, Clarkson, they move it quickly to Bogdanovich, and he scores again. It is becoming commonplace, old hat for these guys. Another 3. Remember, they had a franchise record, 28 of them in their last game, a 132-110 win over Charlotte. They average nearly 17 threes a game, number one in the NBA. And if you joined us late again, they got to 500 made threes quicker in a season than anybody else in NBA history.
That just blew me away that they beat the Rockets and the Warriors.
And the Warriors. You would think the Warriors, and the Mike D'Antoni Rockets, you were saying, in the last few years, shot off.
Yeah, but especially the Warriors with Steph, Clay, and Kevin Durant a few years back.
Mitchell off the window, taken by Duds. Dudley into the front court. They give a free ride lane that time to Keith, but he gets fouled going to the basket.
McKinney in the game for the first time, along with Jared Dudley made an appearance in the first half.
Yeah, so McKinney's going to get some good time. You know, quickly about the schedule. Actually, we have some time to talk about the schedule. Came out. Obviously, they waited as long as they could.
6 minutes and 11 seconds
to
talk about the schedule.
A lot to talk about it. Yeah, it'll start up again on March the 12th, the home game against Indiana. Plenty of home games to start. April is crazy, and I'm going to bring Mike in here in a minute. April, they play 11 out of 15 on the road. But if you want to go in-depth with an article, Mike on the Lakers website really took the deep dive into it. But Michael, right now, just trying to give us what your highlights you think are when talking about the second half of the schedule.
Yeah, a couple things, Bill. First of all, in March, that's going to be their softest part of the schedule in terms of opponent win percentage. So maybe a time to get reintegrated, get AD back at some point, and try to hit the ground running. Then they hit the big road stretch of games in April. They will not be home very often. And one kind of peculiarity, Billy, of it, 18 of 31 remaining games, that's 58%, are against the East. So you remember the difference this year between an 82-game and a 72-game schedule is you trim 10 games away from the Western teams that are only playing 3 times apiece. You still play the East twice. So that's a little bit of a difference, Bill and Stu, and one that should be interesting to go against all those Eastern teams in the second half.
Yeah, whether it's the East or the West, for the Lakers, it's all about their health. They somehow just have to make sure they're in a good enough position when the playoffs start, but more importantly, that they're healthy. They can't be 60% healthy. They've got to be 100% healthy.
And, Mike, there's plenty of marquee games, too. There's that mini-series against Utah in mid-April. And, again, we're hoping that everybody is healthy when they play Brooklyn again.
Yeah, that Brooklyn game is April 10th on the road, so that should be a highlight game. Of course, we didn't get to see Kevin Durant play for the Nets or AD in that one. And then, Billy, the other thing is back-to-backs are ramped up in the second half here. So they only had 5 in this first stretch. They have 7 of them, and 4 are in the final month of the season in May. So that's going to be interesting, too, just to see what they're going to do with how many games are their key guys going to play, what are the seedings going to look like. It's a truly unique season here that they're going to try to navigate their way through.
Oh, yeah, it's been a truly unique season for the Lakers, but it's been a truly unique season for every team in the NBA. This is just something that's obviously never occurred before.
Yeah, those back-to-backs in May come in 15 days. 4 sets of back-to-backs in 15 days. And I know you're going to say, don't say anything because you played double headers back in your day. But what I'm saying is it's an oddity for what we've been seeing here. And just to put them all condensed right there at the end of the season.
First of all, we never played double headers.
I thought you just embellished
we had a
that.
lot of 3 nights in a row.
That. Just go with me on that one.
I'll go with you in the
Okay.
next 5 minutes and 7 seconds because the Lakers still trail by a bunch.
Raptors down by 4.
No one to forget tonight if you're a Laker fan.
Players that are in the game, players that are on the bench that haven't been in. It's a good way to participate especially when you're not in uniform.
And he will be known as an all-star this year, even though he will not be playing. And as you all know, the Lakers are going to be very careful with that injury. As Frank Vogel said, even at the beginning of this year, after the title, we just want to be healthy going into the playoffs. Trying to go backdoor that time, the bounce by Dudley, looking for his teammate. You've got Kaycock into the game, and Antetokounmpo also in for the Lakers. You got a lot of the starters still in for Utah, though. Lakers have emptied the bench.
But
and we'll see if
finally a couple of starters are going out for the Jazz as Donovan Mitchell goes out, also Bogdanovich.
So Mitchell comes up, 2 assists short of a triple-double. Really down night scoring. 13 points, 4 for 16 from the floor, but his teammates certainly made up for it. They've hit 19 threes compared to 6 for the Lakers. Niang can't hit it. And Kostas has control of it. Antetokounmpo.
Aside from Jared Dudley, what a young personnel on the floor for the Lakers.
And you know, it's interesting. You look at Utah, and they do not have a young team. It's, there are a lot of them in their prime. It's not like they've got a lot of grizzled veterans, but The youngest one in their rotation is Donovan Mitchell, and he's 24 years of age. Oni is in the game. Utah, and you see he wears number 81, and that is a tribute to Kobe. He was wearing number 24, and he changed to 81 after last year. And just a huge fan of Dean, and it's a way for him to reflect and to remember Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, really nice to see the young players understanding the history of the game, and especially what Kobe brought to the table and his influence on how players not only play but how they work and the way they approach the games.
Well, it was great to see the winner of the singles in the Australian Open wearing a Kobe jersey during her press conference, Stu.
Naomi Osaka.
Yeah. And I know
what an impressive run she had, too.
A big tennis fan, especially on the women's side.
Yeah, I'm a big Naomi fan. I'm a big Serena fan, obviously.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see the two of them go head-to-head.
They've got 20 made threes. Could it be 21? Not this time. And getting that rebound away from Dudley and wrestling it away was Juwan Morgan.
Well, our calls can will show how they drive and kick, and that's how they get a lot of their threes, where they wait for that help man, and they hit the open man, and he knocks down the shot.
So this is the most threes made against the Lakers this year. Denver had 19 earlier, and a new standard set by Quinn Snyder's team. Quinn, the 54-year-old, went to Duke.
They've got 6 players in double figures.
It's just a regular night for them.
Yeah.
THT looks to attack. He's going to go pick it up. Kostas is in the key. Oh, that's Kaycock, rather, and he scores. Excuse me. That's Devontae.
Yeah, Devontae's tough in the paint.
Yeah, he plays big.
He's strong.
Plays big for 6'7".
He's strong in the paint.
You know, when we've seen him on the big club or the G League or even in Summer League, always impressed us. And with that, shot missed from the outside by Jarrell Brantley. He's from the College of Charleston. 2.5 to play, 106-80. So the Lakers, one of their lowest scoring outputs easily of the year. Rebound Brantley, 6'7", 24-year-old. Second round pick in 2019 of the Pacers. And we'll see the Pacers' first game of the second half of the season.
Oh, that was a ill-advised shot attempt.
Horton Tucker nearly ran with it.
Oh, he traveled.
And he's going to get a chance to launch for three.
And he makes a three-pointer. That's the seventh.
They're supposed to referee like it's the final minute of the 7th game.
Yeah, and they generally do.
Again,
illegal dribble that time. You talking about keeping your hand on top of the ball. Man, they do a lot of dribbling on the side of the ball. This time it was completely under.
That's Trent Forrest. He's an undrafted rookie from Florida State. Getting some time in front of the home folks. Again, there was almost 4,000 in attendance tonight. McKinney drives. Oni has control of it. He went to Yale. By the way, Oni is a Southern California product, so I'm sure he's got lots of friends, family. Watson, born in L.A., grew up in Northridge. Went to Viewpoint High School in Calabasas. Free throw time for Antetokounmpo.
Nice job of showing the ball, and then after he showed the shot, he had a flyby. He attacked the rim to get fouled, so be his first free throws in a decade.
He has not played. Kostas has not since December the 27th. Remember, he had a bit of a knee injury. Hey, attention, LA area teachers, grades K through 5. Register your classroom for the Lakers Literacy league. Engage your class with Lakers-themed activities and an opportunity to win Laker prizes every month. Teachers, register your classroom now on Lakers.com/community. Now, Mark and Ben leading our crew tonight. It's a challenge for everyone. Doing a lot of these remotely. But we hope you've enjoyed it on Spectrum Sportsnet. Again, we're going to have every game through the end of this first half of the season. In fact, there's only 2 exclusive national televised games the rest of the year. So we're going to be with you here on Spectrum Sportsnet quite a bit. Back and forth goes THT.
Good recognition by Dudley. Dudley picked up the loose ball and immediately knew that he had to shoot because the shot clock was at 2. Good job.
Lakers scrambling on defense. It's good ball movement even with this third unit for the Utah Jazz.
Once they get you in chase mode, if you move the basketball, you're going to get an open look.
And Oni knocks down the 3. Gives them 21. Oh, spin move. And Kupo, he's going to go right back to the line.
No, he traveled.
Did he travel? Okay, he traveled.
Lost his footing after the spin. And couldn't maintain his balance. It's called for the traveling violation. 45 seconds remaining in the encounter.
As you mentioned, Stu, 6 Jazz players in double figures. None of them reached 20. They've got 22 more threes. And I'm decent at math. 22 plus 28 is what? 50. They've got 50 threes in the last 2 games. And they've launched 48 of them. And the rebound, throwdown by Brantley.
And Brantley had a clear path for that throwdown.
Stay tuned.
Run the clock out, youngster.
Show is coming up. THT, they're going to get K-Cock a bucket. Devontae with the slam dunk, and that will be that. They don't even have to bring it across half court, and Utah has won again. They have won 22 of their last 24 games, and they remain the best team record-wise in the league at 26-6. Lakers now fall to 22-11, 13-4 on the road. All right, for Stu and Mike, and Bill McDonald saying so long. Where it's all Utah tonight. Make sure to catch our next telecast. We're back at Staples Center Friday at 7 o'clock when the Lakers take on Dame and the Blazers. Time now to check in with Sudio for Access Sportsnet Lakers, driven by your Southern California Honda dealers. We'll see you on Friday night.
Count that one as his 7th make in 8 attempts.
Shout out sa iyo, Junilo Brillantes Gonzalez. Salamat.
Per la tua melanzana alla parmigiana.